Get started. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you are joining from. Thank you for joining me for this webinar on House of Waine. Just a bit of housekeeping. The webinar will be recorded and we will be sending out the recording in the next few days. And we will also be sending you all the kind of rates and fact sheets and everything you need to be selling House of Waine. If you've got any questions throughout the presentation, please do pop them in the Q&A and we'll get to them at the end. This is a pretty quick presentation. There's not loads to cover, so I shan't be keeping you for too long. And yeah, please do ask your questions and we will get round to them. So House of Waine is located in Nairobi, in a suburb called Karen. I mean, it's actually a family-owned property. It's owned by a Kenyan family. They have 5 siblings, and each of those siblings' first initial makes up the name Waine. So that's where that is where the name came from. And the property actually used to be a family home. So it was a home to a diplomat many years ago. And then about 16, I think it might even be 17 years ago now, the property became a hotel. And Anita and Smallwood Marketing have been working with the property for about 15, 16 years. So they are one of our longest standing clients. So the main property, the main house, has got 10 rooms plus a suite. And then there is also a little 2-bedroom cottage on the property as well, which I'll be talking about. It's set over kind of 2.5 hectares of beautiful lush gardens. And it's a really lovely, quiet area. Karen is a beautiful little sort of countryside sort of vibe suburb, about 10 kilometers southwest of the city centre. So you're about 45 minutes from the international airport and about a 20-minute drive from Wilson Airport, which is the kind of domestic sort of safari hop kind of airport. I will send you out rates. That's kind of a quick look at sort of where the rates are starting from. And also we'll chat a bit about the activities in the area as well. So for those of you who don't know Kenya very well, this is a map of Kenya. We've got Nairobi just down here, sort of south, and then you've got Wilson Airport just here. So this is where you kind of hop to head down to, say, the Masai Mara, up to Laikipia, down to the coast, and various other areas as well. So just House of Waine has got a day special, so it's 60 US per person, and this includes a kind of a welcome drink, a 3-course meal, lunch or dinner, and also use of the pool and the changing rooms as well. So this is great for those guests who, particularly on their way out, I think, of Kenya, they're landing in the morning and then have not got a flight until later in the evening. It's a nice spot to kind of come, chill out, have a meal. There are changing and shower facilities at the pool, so they can just relax before their international flight. So this is a little pic of where you kind of enter. You enter in this door here into the main reception area. It's a beautiful big reception area, and the whole property was renovated at the end of 2021. So it has undergone beautiful renovation, made it much more kind of light and airy, but it still has that really warm heart that the property has always kind of had. But I think that kind of comes from the staff mostly as well. We've got this lovely lounge area, and then off that is also our dining area. So the gardens really are what makes this property so chilled out, super laid back, and a really nice kind of oasis in the city. You've got 2.5 hectares of beautiful lush gardens, really well kept. And what's nice is it's fully fenced. So guests, especially guests with kids, can just run around, be free, and enjoy the outdoors here. We've got the lovely big pool, which day guests particularly can make use of when they stay. And then this is the pool pavilion, and behind here is where those changing rooms with the shower facilities are for those guests who are there in the day. We also have the 2-bedroom cottage just here as well that you can see on the left. So I will be chatting a bit more about that in a moment. The dining here is wonderful. What's really nice is it's super versatile as well. So you've got a lovely sort of warm, hearty menu here, but also it's, can be really made super bespoke. So guests with any, specific dietary or preferences can just let us know before they arrive, and the property can really do almost anything. It's such a small property. It's really easy to make it a super bespoke experience. So as I said, there's only 11 rooms here. So there's 10 regular rooms and then 1 suite. The regular rooms are actually enormous, and they're all decorated ever so slightly differently, and all with beautiful views out onto the garden. Some of them have got really nice little verandas as well, so always kind of check if your guests kind of are going to want a little balcony or garden access, which room they're going to be in. So they are all named slightly differently and all have sort of slightly different theme. I think Sahara probably speaks for itself here. We've got a safari suite as well. This has got one of those beautiful little terraces overlooking the gardens. Victoria Suite features a really beautiful big fireplace, which is so lovely in those cooler months. You'll also get a little hot water bottle in your bed as well during the colder months. And then it also has a lovely roll top bath in there as well. So got those kind of Victorian elements coming through. MALAIKA Suite is actually named after the 5 children who own the property. It's named after their mother, so it's the matriarch of the family. She sadly passed away a couple of years ago, so this is a kind of ode to her. It's got a lovely big balcony outside. It's got a nice big lounge area as well, so this is really nice for guests staying that little bit longer or who maybe want that little bit more space. It's a beautiful big suite here. We've got also Manyata Suite, which actually Manyata means home in Maasai, and again has got that really nice little balcony looking out onto the gardens. Pwani Suite is Pwani Suite is sort of coastal themed, and then Tembo is elephant themed, so those kind of textures and colours coming through there. And then we've got Ziwa, and Ziwa is Swahili for lake, so again those kind of beautiful blues in here. And then Kanini and Makan Suite, they are actually interleading. So great for a family with a couple of kids. We can even do a third bed as well. So 3 kids would work quite nicely as well. This is Makan, and then Kanini is the smaller one with the twin. And we have got a sleeper couch here as well. So you can pop another child on that sleeper couch. So moving on to the 2-bedroom cottage, this is really lovely for guests maybe with a slightly longer stay or who just want that little bit more privacy, their own space. They can kind of spread out, not worry about other guests, and just kind of have a really laid-back experience here. They've got their own little kitchenette and lovely dining area and this big lounge space as well. So the 2 bedrooms, you've got a double room, and then you've also got with ensuite, and then you've also got a single room. So I kind of say, you know, for a family with 1 small child, you could potentially do 2 small children or 1 small child and a baby. Those guests who kind of want that kind of space, they don't want to be disturbing other guests or be disturbed by other guests. They want that kind of complete privacy. But it's a lovely little room as well as the double room. And it just is, as I said before, it's out next to that pool pavilion near the pool in the garden. So it's kind of set away as well, which is quite nice. We've got conference facilities here, so we do get some corporate stays as well. And then we've got this lovely little library area and kind of co-working space. So nice for anyone needing to catch up on any work bits while they're here. So in terms of location, we have really close to some brilliant nearby activities, and a lot of the time these are kind of the things guests are wanting to get up to while they're staying in Nairobi. So we're near to the Daphne Sheldrick Elephant Orphanage, we're near to the Karen Blixen Museum, and also the Giraffe Sanctuary and the Karen Golf Club as well. So there's plenty to do in the really close surrounding area, as well as obviously plenty to do in Nairobi as well. So we're really lucky in our location in that sense. So what I'd say is I think House of Waine is really nice for guests who've got kind of a day and a night and maybe want to explore Nairobi a little bit, or even just wanting a space that's really laid back so they can really chill out in. And then also for guests who are staying maybe a couple of nights in Nairobi, or those wanting a soft landing before heading out onto safari. I wouldn't say if your guests are flying in and you know, just literally staying overnight and heading straight out early doors, I'd pop them in an airport hotel. But I think House of Waine makes a really lovely spot for those guests who have got that little bit of a longer stay or are wanting to explore the city a little bit more. But I will open up the floor to questions now. If you've got any questions, do please pop them in the Q&A. Hopefully, if you have any questions after the fact, you can pop them through by email to myself or Anita. And of course, we're always on the other end of the phone, so do feel free to call as well with any questions or any booking queries. I will be sending out rates, the recording of this webinar, and also any kind of fact sheets and all the rest of it, kind of all our agent kit I'll be sending out to you guys. So do have a look at that once it it comes through in the next couple of days. And then, of course, any questions, do ping them over. Hopefully I've answered everything, because there isn't anything in the Q&A. So I will sign off now. But thank you so much for joining me for this quick look at House of Waine. And hopefully I will see you at the next webinar. Thanks so much.